When somebody is struggling with mental illness, whether it be depression or anxiety or even psychotic disorders, maybe personality disorders, it doesn't matter. When somebody is relaying their experiences with that mental illness, they don't necessarily want to be put up on a pedestal and be like, oh yes, look at me, I'm so need of attention, I'm so in despair that I need attention from people. It's not necessarily like that, although a lot of people think it is. When you think that they're just doing it for attention, when you think that they're just doing it for like, oh, I want to be quirky, I want to be different, I want to be like whoop de I can do, I have depression. When you automatically assume that somebody like that is doing it all for attention, you can run into some problems. One of the problems being invalidation. What is invalidation? Well, invalidation is where you take somebody's subjective experience, not knowing how much it affects them, and tearing it down and basically saying it's pointless, it doesn't matter, I go through the same thing and I come out fine. Basically what you're doing is you are taking somebody's experiences and saying that they're less impactful than how much it impacted the person, if that makes any sense. You're taking somebody's experiences, and no matter how hurtful it is to that person, you are saying that no, it is not that hurtful, it shouldn't affect you that much, and it won't affect you that much. And that's something that I had to deal with a lot when it came to growing up in Hawaii, because my parents, and I know a lot of our parents, are very strict people, very to the book, do things right the first time, never make mistakes. If you make a mistake, you're fucking stupid. They're the kind of people like that. And I know that's common for a lot of other kids in Hawaii, but they really didn't understand how invalidation can really fuck with your mind. Because when I first came out to my parents about, oh, I'm seeing shadow people, oh, I'm hearing voices talking to me at night, it's like they told me, oh, that's just your imagination. You're just imagining things. I hear people talk all the time, and it's nothing. Oh yeah, you see shadow people? I don't sense any ghosts, so there aren't any. That was a pretty stupid way of putting it, if I'm being completely honest. Given our family history, I think it should have been taken more seriously at the time. But I was just called crazy. I remember my mom said, "You sound crazy. You actually sound crazy." And I'm sitting here and I was like, okay, so what am I supposed to do with that information? Am I supposed to just take my anxiety and my fear and my hallucinations and I'm just supposed to deal with it? I didn't know how to deal with it. I was sent into a mental hospital for it. And in some respects, I don't even know how to deal with it now. I've always had a hard time with coming to terms with things, coming to terms with ideas and what goes on in my head. And I think that when it comes to me talking to other people, I've had this track record of being a validating person, even if we disagree. I have one of my friends and she's very liberal, and we disagreed on some points, and I was like, your opinions are valid, they make sense, I understand you're trying to do what's right, I just simply disagree. And we left it at that. And that is how you acknowledge somebody's experiences and points and opinion without invalidating them. That's how you should, no, not should, that's how you could come at different problems and different interpretations in a more positive way. Think about it like this. Somebody just poured their heart out to you and they're being vulnerable and scared and they feel possibly alone and in pain. The last thing you want to do is tell them, hey, it doesn't matter what you're feeling because I feel it too and I got over it, so you can get over it. That's not going to help anyone, not in the slightest. What I do is I say I understand your point of view, I disagree with a couple things, I agree with some things. Here's how I can help you. I can be with you when you're experiencing symptoms, I can help you practice coping skills, and I can talk to you. Even if I could even be in the same room as you. Maybe we can sit down and watch TV together. Distraction techniques. Maybe we can, I don't know, go for a walk. Instead of saying, oh yeah, I understand, but just get over it, that's what a lot of people go through, and it's not helpful at all. So if you're watching this video, I want you to know that, yeah, we could all do better. And I get a lot of hate for saying we could all do better, because people like to demonize opinions and people of different political parties. I know that a lot of conservatives are demonized and a lot of liberals are demonized. I don't necessarily care about the demonization of people. I just try to see things from a more positive point of view, because I spent my entire life being a pretty hardcore pessimist. I don't even know if that's how you say the word. But yeah, do what you can to contribute something meaningful to a person's experience, their life, their mental illness. Do something positive for a person, and I guarantee that you're gonna feel better on the inside. I guarantee that if you do something good for someone and you genuinely care about them and you're able to help them, then great. I mean, that's all the more power to you. That's amazing. And yeah, I got a lot of hate mail because I said, oh, men and women both need to be educated on certain topics. I was like, oh, men need to be educated on respectfulness, because a lot of the time you see guys walking around looking very, let's just say, inappropriate. I'd say inappropriate clothes. Same thing goes for women. And I said, well, we could both learn something. Both genders can learn something. I mean, whether you're a man or a woman, there's always possibility to improve. How did this get about men and women? Anyway, so next time somebody expresses themselves to you, don't immediately turn them down and be like, oh, I understand, and yada yada yada. What you want to do is provide support, because that's what people in those situations need. They need support to help them get through whatever they're experiencing. And if you're able to offer that support, then that's amazing. That's the goal. That's the end goal. And I guarantee that it'll pay off. If you're there for somebody, if you're their support, then one day they could help you out in just as impactful way as you help them out. And even if they don't end up helping you out, it just feels good to help other people. So give it a shot, give it a try, and if somebody invalidates you, use the same principle. Try to be as positive, try to be as understanding. You may not agree with them, but you can acknowledge them and acknowledge the fact that their opinions are valid. So I hope you enjoyed. This video was a bit of a longer one. I spent a lot of time rambling. Oh god, that voice crack. But I hope you enjoyed. And I'll catch you in the next one. Ahui ho, malama pono.